What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is the Jose Show. Happy Wednesday. All right, so now let's get to it now. Unfortunately, today is not a really happy day, especially for all of the people that live in Los Angeles that are dealing with the immense wildfires that are caused by the Santa Ana winds. Well, as devastating Pacific Palisades, Eaton, and Hearst wildfires continue to rage throughout Los Angeles, celebrities have taken to social media to share their first-hand photos and videos of the infernos, while many of them evacuate their homes. Alright, so far Spencer Pratt and Heidi Montag have lost their home to the blaze per TMZ. The reality star's family was able to safely evacuate but are devastated by their loss. Meanwhile, Eugene Levy told the Los Angeles Times over the phone he was fleeing his home as pretty black and intense smoke came over to Mescal Canyon. Okay, so anyways, Chet Hanks, son of Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson, also posted about his childhood neighborhood being burned down in the fire, while Maria Shriver tweeted that she evacuated on Wednesday morning. So as of 8:20 a.m. on Wednesday morning, per CNN, the three fires have led the evacuation of 80,000 residents as 300,000 are without power. The Los Angeles County Fire Chief also reported that 2 people have been killed and more than 1,000 structures have been destroyed. Okay, so anyways, after sharing photos and videos of the then encroaching fires on Tuesday, Whitney Cummings revealed on Wednesday morning that she too was evacuating her home. Alright, so anyways, on Wednesday, she took her stories to add, "We are okay for now, but sometimes evacuating too soon just clogs the roads and makes it harder for the LAFD, but this fire is moving so fast that now is not the time to take changes." Alright, so this changes everything forever, she concluded. Alright, so General Hospital star Cameron Matheson first started posting about the wind in his area on Tuesday afternoon. Before 8 hours later, he revealed the fire was dangerously close to his home. Alright, so anyways, he followed it up with footage of him evacuating as hills burned in the background before thanking first responders. On Wednesday morning, he revealed his home had totally burned down. Alright, so anyways, overnight, Mark Hamill posted that he, his wife, and their dog evacuated Malibu. And in a personal fire update, he wrote that at 7 p.m., they evacuated so last minute that there were small fires on both sides of the Pacific Coast Highway. By 8:15, he and his family arrived at their daughter Chelsea's Hollywood home. He went on to call the blaze the most horrific fire since 1993 before telling followers to stay safe. Okay, so anyways, actor James Woods began post videos of the encroaching fires fairly early in the day on Tuesday before saying he was leaving the area as homes around him began to burn down. And he continued sharing footage from his security cameras before saying his neighbor's home was on fire overnight. He shared that all the smoke detectors are going off in our house, a sign that his house was possibly succumbing to the fire. Okay, so anyways, Mandy Moore's family was affected by the Eaton fire. Overnight, she took to her Instagram stories to report she was evacuated and safe with kids, dogs, and cats. She added, "Praying and grateful for the first responders." All right. So Sandra Lee took to Instagram to share a number of videos seemingly showing her evacuating Malibu as well. All right. And this is really devastating, man, that this is going on over in Los Angeles, and especially very devastating, not just for the celebrities, but also for the poor people out there in general that are dealing with all of this, especially towards the people that unfortunately got their homes burned down by the stupid wildfires. I really am so scared and I am so saddened that this is going on, because these people that are dealing with all of this are now the same people that are basically suffering, and they are struggling to find somewhere to go to, somewhere to live, especially because, I mean, let's remember that, yes, celebrities, they have a way to go to a hotel. They have a way to find themselves another house that they live at or that they have because, you know, they have money to be doing all of that. But to all of those people that don't have the money to be buying another house and don't have the money to be going somewhere else, I mean, I just can't imagine how devastating it is for them. And, you know, especially how saddening it is for them. And I believe that, with all of these wildfires that are going on, I mean, I can already imagine that they are not going to be able to recover all of what they had in maybe years, because, I mean, it really cost a bunch of money having to have a house over in Los Angeles, having to have a car, having to have all of their personal belongings that they had in their own home. And also, it's really going to take maybe months or years having to recover and rebuild all of these houses that got burnt down over in Los Angeles, because, I mean, it costs, millions having to build all of these houses over in Los Angeles, especially in the expensive areas of Los Angeles, like over at the Pacific Palisades, for example. It's, going to really be costly. And, I think that, it's going to really take a lot of time, especially to be building all of that, because, I mean, it's a bunch of houses that we're talking about that got burnt down. And of course, the streets got burnt down too. Everything got burnt down. So anyways, I think that it's also really odd, though, that this is going on in the very beginning of 2025, man, because we were all hoping that 2025 was going to be a really good year and that everything was going to be peachy, everything was going to be amazing, and this and that. But unfortunately, we are starting 2025 in a very bad way. I just feel like bad luck is really chasing us, ladies and gentlemen. Man, I just think that we still need to believe, we need to pray for all of the good things to happen to us in this year, because that is the only way that we can actually have a really good year, ladies and gentlemen. Literally, I mean, it's not just the wildfires that are having to start 2025 in a very bad way. It's also of course, the explosion that happened over in Las Vegas with that Tesla truck. And of course, it's the shootings that happen over in multiple areas here in America, of course, that I don't even want to mention right now, because it's just so devastating right now having to hear about those shootings as well. And then, many other things, man, that I just feel is just so devastating. It's just so saddening. Ladies and gentlemen, I feel like at this point, the firefighters are doing the best that they can in order to turn off these fires, even though I know that these fires, of course, are growing and growing, unfortunately, because of the stupid Santa Ana winds that are going on right now. But yet they are doing the best they can to turn off the fires, so that way the fires can definitely disappear for good and we can finally be in peace. And, the LA city and, of course, the LA County can be able to rebuild all of what got burnt down. So there's that. I believe that, there aren't just two firefighters. There are probably hundreds of firefighters right now just fighting for our lives and, of course, for their lives, and also for LA County's lives, in order to make sure that everything is turned off. I mean, at this point, I feel like we need a good rainstorm over in LA County in order for LA County to be perfectly fine, and also for LA County to have all of these wildfires off, especially because I believe that with the rainstorm, I believe that right there is going to really be strong enough to turn off all of these wildfires. Literally. Okay, I mean, yes, I mean, the firefighters are doing the best they can, but I mean, with all of the water that they have, I don't really think that it's really enough as far as what I am hearing here, because like I said, even though the firefighters are going off trying to turn off the wildfires are still growing and growing, and with that rain, I mean, there will be rain not just in one certain area, there will be rain, I mean, in multiple areas over in Los Angeles that will be able to turn off the wildfires. So that's why I'm saying that with the rain, I'm sure that there will be miracles with the rain. Okay, but unfortunately, throughout this season, this winter season, we have been having the bad luck of having a dry winter season, because we haven't had rain in 2 months probably. And normally throughout this season, we get a bunch of rain, not just over in LA County, but also all over SoCal. So I really don't even know why we're not even getting rain this season. Literally, I don't know. I don't know, but I pray that we get rain really soon. That's for sure. But anyways, my prayers go out to all of the people over in LA County, man. My prayers go out to all of the people in LA County, especially to the ones that have lost their homes and that have died and that have gotten injured, man. This right here is awful. Now on to the next topic. Now, let's talk about Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck. So Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck have settled their divorce, TMZ has learned, and in a month and a half, they will officially call their marriage quits. Okay, so in a nutshell, each walks away with what they individually acquired during the marriage. The money Ben earned from his various movie projects is his, and the same goes for what Jennifer Lopez earned during their 2-year marriage, and neither will pay spousal support to the other. So notably, Ben will keep his stake in his hugely successful production company, Artist Equity, which he created in 2022, in which he partnered with Matt Damon. So Ben formed the company in November of 2022, about 4 months after he married J.Lo, and AE since churned out hit movies like Air's Unstoppable, The Instigators, Small Things Like These, and The Accountant 2. Okay, so as for J.Lo, she keeps her own major projects during their marriage. She worked on Atlas, This Is Me Now, The Mother, Shotgun Wedding, and Marry Me. Okay, so they also reached an agreement on the $61 million house they bought, but the terms are confidential. It's on the market, but so far, no takers. Okay, so TMZ broke the story Ben and Jen did not have a prenup. Typically, that would mean they would put everything in a pot that they acquired during the marriage and divide it 50-50, but the settlement mediated by Disso Queen Laura Wasser is effectively like a prenup. Okay, so the settlement also reveals J.Lo is dropping Affleck as a last name and reverting to Jennifer Lynn Lopez. Alright, so TMZ broke the story. J.Lo filed for divorce from Ben back in August, but now it looks like things are settled just 5 months later. Okay, so I believe that Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck both have the right to have their own money to themselves, because I think that it would be really unfair if Jennifer Lopez spends her money on Ben and if Ben Affleck spends his money on Jennifer Lopez after being divorced, because I believe that now that they have nothing to do with each other, they should actually have their own money for themselves, especially for their own kids, because I believe that the more that they have their own money for themselves, the more that they are saving it for themselves and for their own kids, and the more that they are enjoying it, especially. You know, and I also believe that now they have their own rights to their own stuff. They have their own rights to their own houses. They have their own rights to everything, especially now that they have their own money to themselves. Because here is the thing. I think that, you know, since they basically came up with this prenup situation, I believe you can call it, now whatever they bought, they can keep to themselves, you know, because I believe that since they basically specifically came up with an agreement that they basically can have the money to themselves, they basically can also have that agreement of having their own stuff to themselves as well, because basically that's how it should be, since that is what is called fair, you know. And also, I believe that Ben Affleck, in my personal opinion, should have known what he was putting himself into before getting into the marriage with Jennifer Lopez, because I don't want to sound shady, but I believe that Jennifer Lopez is really that type of artist that usually doesn't last with men, and that usually just has a little fun with men, and that's it. And I believe that a marriage, in my opinion, especially if you want to get into a serious marriage, should be of a lifetime. It should be of a love of a lifetime. It should be of a love of a huge lifetime, okay? But here is the thing, though. I believe that the whole entire marriage ended up originating from Ben Affleck having the illusion that the marriage was going to be serious and that it was going to last forever, like he thought it would be back in 2003, for example, when the both of them were going to get married in the first place, but the marriage ended up failing because of the fact that they ended up having differences here and there, especially because of the paparazzi and the media at the time going after them. So there's also that. And let's also remember too that you know, there was just too much love and too much pressure going on in the first place when the marriage was starting. I remember that, they both were like, okay, well, maybe this marriage is going to work out and we're going to try so hard to make it work out, that then later on they were like, oh my God, well, maybe too much pressure and too much love is actually not the equalization to a loving marriage. It's actually the equalization to a divorce after all. This is actually a living nightmare after all. So I believe that we're going to have them divorce after all and get rid of the house and this and that, which to me is really sad, by the way, that Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck are getting rid of the house in the first place instead of calling it 50-50, because here's the thing, that house, I know that they are divorced, but yet they can still have a share in that house, because I mean, at the end of the day, that house is so big that Jennifer Lopez could have her own part in that house and Ben Affleck can have his own part in that house as well, to the point that, hey, they cannot see each other at all because of how big that house is. And Jennifer Lopez can live by herself with her kids in one part, while Ben Affleck can live by himself in another part with his kids, and the end, or what they can also do is rent out that house and make money off of that house, and hey, the end, but I mean, hey, if Jennifer Lopez wants to be selling that house and if Ben Affleck wants to be selling that house too, then I mean, so it be, that's all on them, and hey, the end in the end, but you know what, all I have to say though is that Jennifer Lopez is already hitting her 60s and Ben Affleck is already getting towards that path too. So I believe that right now is not the time to be fooling around like teenagers, to be going off, changing husbands, changing wives here and there. Because that is not how life should be, especially when you are getting older, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, now on to the next topic. Now let's talk about Yolanda Saldivar. So Yolanda Saldivar, the woman that killed late Tejano superstar Selena Quintanilla on March 31st of 1995 at a Days Inn motel in Corpus Christi, Texas, apparently filed for parole earlier this year. Now, as we all know, Yolanda Saldivar is eligible for parole on March 30th of this year. Now, many people are saying that she is able to get out of prison with this parole, and many other people are saying that she is not eligible to get out of prison with this parole that she is eligible for. And by people, I mean articles. But I personally believe that she is eligible to get out of prison after March 30th of 2025, because I believe that she has been behaving well in prison. And the reason why I'm saying this is because a lot of reliable sources have been saying that Yolanda Saldivar has been behaving well in prison, and that she has been having a lot of health issues especially, and that she can't survive in prison with those health issues. Now, I personally believe that if Yolanda Saldivar gets out of prison, she's going to be able to take care of herself with the health issues that she has, especially because she has kidney issues. However, I don't think that she's going to be able to survive out of prison, because I believe that since she has those kidney issues, man, those are really deadly, ladies and gentlemen, especially because the woman is already going towards her 70s. She is almost 65 years old. And another thing is that she would still be in danger being out of prison yet again, even though she wouldn't have those kidney issues, because let's remember that a bunch of the Selena Quintanilla fans out here are over here hating on Yolanda Saldivar because of the fact that she murdered Selena back in 1995. And, they are out to get her. They are out to, probably murder her and this and that, because of how much hate they've had towards Yolanda Saldivar. So there's also that. So anyways, I believe that Yolanda Saldivar would have a really scary outing out of prison if she were to get out of prison, and she would have to cover up with a disguise, or she were to actually hire like 2 or 3 bodyguards to protect her in order to, not get murdered, or in order to not get attacked by the Selena fans, in my personal opinion. So there's also that. But honestly, though, I personally believe that Yolanda Saldivar should not get out of prison. She should stay in prison for killing an innocent life like Selena Quintanilla, because that woman really, to me, is atrocious. That woman, to me, is really awful for doing that to poor Selena, man. Man, Selena Quintanilla would have been a huge superstar if she were to be still alive to this day. And honestly, Selena Quintanilla were to have kids, I'm pretty sure if she would still be alive. And, Selena Quintanilla especially were to enjoy life. But no, Yolanda Saldivar had to take it away from Selena Quintanilla. So, anyways, yeah, Yolanda, please stay in prison. And in my personal opinion, please stay in prison. All right. But that is it for today's show, ladies and gentlemen. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's beautiful episode of The Jose Show. Till next time, and peace.